We got 1, 2, 3 different knives we're going to be checking out in this video. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today we have 1, 2 knives from Lothar. These should be on the affordable end. Then we have a special premium knife right here, a mystery knife that showed up in this zipper pouch here. What could it possibly be? We're going to find out together. Links to all these down below as usual. And we're going to go ahead and jump right in, right? This first Lothar knife we have right here is called the Bada Bing Bada Boom Lothar knife. How about that? Very creative. I keep telling them they need to kind of get a little bit more creative with some of their models. Some of them have actual model names and whatnot, but it's not printed on the box. We have some paperwork, and then we have a nice little zipper pouch here with some carbon fiber looking aesthetics. Let's see what we're dealing with. It looks to be a small folder. Okay, we got a wiping cloth, very straightforward. And here is the knife, okay? Ooh, okay, listen, yeah, this looks very familiar. We recently just looked at the regular size of this knife, and this is the mini version of the Lothar Lich King. We'll do some size comparisons in a moment here. But yeah, this is like a mini version they're doing now. I mean, the regular size Leech King is actually quite the size, I'll tell you what. But we have exposed liners here with steel. Is this steel? No pull here, I'm assuming aluminum bolsters. We have G10 inlays there. We have a lanyard hole back here. Nice crown jimping here towards the back. Deep pocket carry clip, about that much, right? Kind of share my feedback with them multiple times about this type of pocket clip. It's not necessarily my cup of tea. Also not reversible for lefties, right? Just something to consider there. Just kind of it's angled to the side instead of something more straightforward like, say, something like this. Filler tab on the opposite end for lefties. You call it a day, right? It basically works for anybody and everybody. But other than that, we have a back flipper with jimping, and then we have a little opening hole here. We'll see how that all works. It being the smaller form factor. Well, bam, right? There is the blade. Staying true to the bigger regular design, right? The bigger counterpart. Well, we got that little bit of a harpoon, tanto, recurve, dual flat zones going on. Sort of geometry. Absolutely pretty epic there with the recurve for sure. D2 steel with a nice little gray coating on it for corrosion resistance. I dig that. All right, that's looking good. It's going to be a liner lock. Nice and easy to disengage. We do have, let's say, good access from the show side here. And it actually engages at about, what are we talking about here? Maybe 30%-ish, right? 30-ish% or so. That's not bad. On the close, all right, got to clear that flipper tab. It's going to be a little bit of a shake shutter. There we go, on the close. And then can we deploy using the hole? It's a little bit tricky just because when you shrink the design, if you keep the actual hole the same size, it is actually not going to be very accessible, if you would. So trying to get the Spidey flick going here. It's not happening. Thumb deployment. There we go. Thumb deployment works. Right? Just got to like push down and flick it out like that. So thumb deployment at least, and back flipper work really solid. We can light switch the back flipper. Yep. Can we push button it? Okay, I'm trying to fail it here. Push buttoning it also works. The D10 is tuned pretty good. I'm really trying to fail this guy, but yeah, that is just not happening there. As far as the ergos, right, even with my KFC sport size hands, I'm able to get a full 4-finger grip. That flipper is going to be your finger guard, right? Able to get a nice little comfortable grip there. I do feel the pocket clip a tad bit. I want to say maybe like a good 8.5 out of 10, if anything, right? You can see it. If you squeeze really hard, you do feel the pocket clip a tad bit, but again, that would be only during hard work or hard use. But other than that, this little undulation right here on the blade actually feels pretty good for your thumb. Right, that's like perfect for the thumb right there. And the recurve geometry, of course, is going to help with trapping material, right, as you go through the cut, which is pretty good. You can use this tip nice and low here for draw cuts, utility cuts, right, as if it were like a sheep's foot blade or a warning. But you got this tip here, nice and low. You got this other tip here, pokey tip for some tip work if you want to do some package opening, what have you, right? The flat grind is pretty good, and this one should be pretty slicey. It's going to have a matching G10 backspacer, and overall just a pretty nice little compact recipe here. We got another one here from Lothar. This one is a bigger box, so we have a hint. Lothar pocket knife. I mean, this must be the same as the last one because it's got the same name. Very tight packaging. Got that, again, carbon fiber looking aesthetics. Little zipper pouch here. Very iconic from Lothar. Paperwork. We actually have a tool for this one. I want to say they're including a T8, T6. That's a nice touch here. We got a little mesh. Inside this one, we have a wiping cloth. And then here it is, right? So it looks like we are actually looking at the bigger brother here. This is the actual regular size Leech King from Lothar. And it's interesting about this one, it actually has a little bead back here, right? We got a little bit of a rope here with a knot, and then we have a little Ghost Rider looking skull. It's let's see, steel skull. Actually not getting any pull on that, so go figure. Definitely with some accentuated eye sockets. Kind of looks like Fender from Futurama. But anyways, interesting little touch there. Not necessarily my cup of tea. I mean, for what I like carrying, so I will be taking that off. Or as a matter of fact, I'll keep it on because this is going to be a giveaway knife here on the channel. If you're not yet subscribed, this will be a great time to subscribe to the channel. That way you can join in on future giveaways. But the recipe is pretty straightforward here. We have done a couple of overviews on the Leech King multiple times in the channel. This is the flipper option here with a liner lock. We have an opening hole. Basically the recipe we just looked at with the Mini, but obviously in the OG form, and we'll put them side by side here in just a moment. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Bam, right? Check out the blade here on the bigger counterpart. This is quite something. I'll tell you what, satin finish on the D2 blade. Now you do want to take care of this D2 blade, right? You don't want to leave it soak wet for a week and then come back and, you know, complain that it got some rust. D2 is not corrosion resistant. You do want to take care of D2, keep it clean, right? After use, just wipe it clean. You should be good to go. It's a pretty tough steel, good for a budget, affordable knife like this one is. So I can tell you that right now, this one's not going to break the bank in any way, shape, or form. That's for sure. Got somewhat of a dual flat grind situation right there with the harpoon. Got the tanto, got the recurve. So it is going to be a harpoon recurve tanto. How about that, right? Dual ground. So yeah, definitely a wild geometry for sure. It's a liner lock on this one. All right, that's pretty smooth there. Feel like the D10 on this one is not as well tuned as on the tiny one. You have to kind of give it the beans there to get it to deploy. Looks like if you push button it, you might fail it. So you're better off just bam, sending it every single time. We do have a lockup right here about maybe what, 30%, also 35-ish% or so, and decent access from the show side to disengage. And pretty drop shotty. I'll give him that. Look at this. Smooth little drop shot action. Just very minimal shake, if anything, to get it to close. They do orange pivot colors, which kind of gives it a nice little pop of color there. I want to say we do have, what is it, stainless steel? Yeah, or pretty much steel otherwise, right? On the liners, also on the bolster. G10 inlays here, and a G10 back spacer, exposed liner, and some jimping back there. Right, just like we saw on the smaller counterpart. But obviously this is much bigger, right? Still able to get a full purchase. You can accommodate a 6-finger if you had hands my size, or if you have big old bear paws, right? You should be good to go. The thumb behind the harpoon, I tell you, that's where it feels at home, right? You're locked and loaded and ready to go, right? And again, this geometry is gonna cut really, really good, whether you're doing utility cuts, right? Just slicing and dicing or cutting some cardboard on trash day. Right, this thing is an absolute tank. I want to say inside we have some milling for weight reduction. All right, so that should help with the weight a little bit. But yeah, I featured this guy here multiple times in the channel. You guys, based on the comments, a lot of you guys have picked it up and have been really enjoying it. My biggest thing with this knife, like I said before, is the pocket clip. Don't like the pocket clip, it's not reversible, but just the design itself. Again, something more straightforward would be more desirable, in my opinion, right? Throw a filler tab on the other side, and boom, you're good to go. So that would be my continuous feedback until they do something about it. I've been just preaching that from the rooftops for the last year, maybe 2 years or so, and they haven't updated the design. So just waiting to see when they're gonna actually implement the design here. I mean, the theme with this knife is gonna be how affordable it is, right? These are very, very affordable knives on Amazon, available right now, that you can pick up. They're not going to break the bank in any way, shape, or form. And so you can put them through its paces for what it's worth. I mean, just basically give this knife, throw anything you got at it. And, you know, if you do find the limit, you can pick up a second one and a third one, and you're still not really even spending all that much money at all. That's just how crazy affordable these are. Here we go. As promised, we have the plunge lock, button lock version. And this is what the regular size looks like. You can see it is quite the difference right there. Take a look. And that one is on 14C28N. There's a blacked out version that is a liner lock. This one's going to be D2. But yeah, you can see, get a good feel for the big regular size over the mini size. I feel like the harpoon is also a little bit more pronounced on the OG bigger counterpart as compared to this mini version, but So let me know your thoughts on these down below. And again, links in the description and pinned comments. And last but not least, we got this mysterious Wixco looking zipper pouch, but it's not a Wixco knife in here. It should be something interesting. I'm gonna give you a little hint, right? These stickers right here should kind of give you a little hint of what we got cooking right here. In case you're not familiar with Wyvern Kodiak, Sam and Chris are pretty cool dudes. I got a chance to be on their live stream some time ago, kind of like a podcast. We were talking knives, we were talking about EDC, our experience being content creators and all that. Check out that live stream if you haven't already. But the good news is they are a knife company too. They are designers and they have their first prototype right here. As a matter of fact, this bad boy is available for pre-order right now. Let's just talk about the knife and then we'll go over all the details and bam. Ooh, baby, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The prototype for the Grakkis, right? Grakkis with a double K. That's the name on this one. And ooh, baby, for starters, I mean, I'm already a sucker for the micro milling going on here with the diagonal pattern right there. That's looking sweet. Loving the WK logo in the pivot. That's captive with a nice little, looks like Damascus pivot color going on. That's nice. And keep in mind, this is a prototype labeled as such, and there are some updates and some things that they're changing here and there. We're going to talk about that as well. Pill shape, long opening hole, and then it looks like we have, of course, titanium going on here throughout. Titanium pocket clip as well. No back flipper, right? No button locks or anything like that. It's going to be a frame lock, and it's just pretty clean, even on the frame lock side. The stress relief cutout is on the inside, but let's go ahead and send it because this blade's got something special. If you're ready, I'm ready. Whoa, bam. Ooh, baby, look at this. Look at this nasty looking hollow ground right here. Holy smokes, man. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, this is naughty. This is a naughty blade. This one's got the stone wash finish and a very, very thin behind the edge sort of hollow ground. It definitely eventually gets a little bit thicker here, but that is looking epic. I'm going to set it down for a second so you guys can get a closer look. All right, that's pretty wild, right? I'm going to let you guys kind of take it in for a second. It's going to be a large knife, no doubt about it. We'll do some orgos in a moment and things like that. But the blade right now, that is taking the cake. Good plunge grind situation here about where my nail is. So you'll be able to sharpen this bad boy to your heart's content. Not going to be developing a smile anytime soon. And it is a frame lock, like we said earlier. Good engagement here with the steel insert for steel on steel contact. Better for longevity. We're looking at, what, maybe 30-ish, 35-ish% or so engagement. And I know there got some details here with the access to the lock bar we'll talk about in a second. But on the close, oh yeah, that is nice. All you got to do is you got to just drop a little bit of a shake, bam, on the close, and you're good to go. Look at this. Nice. The OEM on this one is going to be Bestech, by the way. Obviously, you already know Bestech does a really good job. You can thumb deploy and you can Spidey flick, but for me, Spidey flick is where it's at all day, right? And with how big this opening hole is, you can get at it back here, you can get at it like really up here, anywhere. You should be good to go. Now, I mean, check out the jimping here. Crazy jimping zone right here, and also a little bit of jimping right there towards the front. They are going to do a little bit of jimping right here on the actual handle as well. So where the jimping from the blade meets the handle, there's going to be some additional jimping right there, from what I understand. And by the way, since we're already talking about things that will change in the production version, there is going to be better access to the lock bar, and there is going to be a nice little chamfer on the lock bar as well. They're going to put a nice little subtle milling texture on it to really spice things off. We got some additional screws on here they want to remove. It looks like they will be removing this screw here, right? Removal of 2 body screws for a cleaner finish. This will be the stop pin screw and the first screw on the back spacer. So these two are going to be removed. That should give it a nice little clean look with just these 2 screws in the back. And last but not least, they're going to inset the screw on the pocket clip. Currently it sticks up a bit, but they're going to make that an inset screw. So I mean, my goodness, talk about attention to detail. I mean, they are absolutely dialing this thing in to make it the best possible version they possibly can make it. We're dealing with Van X steel on a hollow ground, so you already know that's a sweet combo. Van X steel is pretty good for corrosion resistance, so you already know. Overall knife length is going to be 8.15 inches, so it's going to be a little bit of a lengthy boy here. Blade length alone is going to be 3.43 inches, and the weight is going to be around 4.9 ounces. When you're looking at solid titanium, no steel liners, pretty nice long back spacer that's titanium as well. And the story about this one is pretty cool. From what I understand, Sam and Chris went to, I think, one of their first few blade shows, and they were walking around with the design on a piece of paper, just getting feedback, asking around people like, hey, what do you think about this knife and things like that. And then eventually they got some prototypes, and they also got some feedback from folks over at Blade Show and whatnot, some content creators, some knife lovers, and everybody in the community they could get their hands on. And then anybody they could get this design on their hands to get feedback. So it looks like it's absolutely paying off. This thing is absolutely epic. Now, I mean, I saw the renderings, I saw the pictures, but having this thing on hand, man, I'll tell you what, look at this, handle for days. If you got bigger hands, you should be good to go. Nice little finger choil. That's where it's at, right? Thumb right here, plenty of jimping, good to go, lock and load it, ready to get some work done. I mean, this is gonna be a great tabletop cutter, right, with that big belly, but also a good slicer, man. That is gonna be a very slicey geometry for sure. So definitely got that going for it. And I want to say pocket clip is nice and comfortable. It's a little curved, right? Kind of goes with the handle design in a way. Nothing too crazy, very minimalistic pocket clip, if you would. Kind of makes sense on a premium design like this one. They didn't go reversible pocket clip because of this thing called symmetry, right? It is a curved pocket clip, so in order to make it reversible, they would just have to make a whole other version that will go on the other end. So I'm not sure if they're planning on doing lefty options or variants in the past, but I mean, right now, what they got on hand right here, this is absolutely epic. Got some milling on the inside for weight reduction, just what you would expect. And again, best tech being the OEM. I know they shopped around different OEMs trying to get the best possible one that would actually make this at a reasonable price, but also with a really good quality. And so that's kind of been the aim here. Now this guy is available for pre-order right now on the website, WyvernKodiak.com. I'll have it all linked down below. The pre-order is going to run for about 30 days. There is a discounted pricing that will be $269.99 to $299.99, depending on the finish that you choose, right? There's different finishes. As you can see here, they have a DLC handle with a bell satin DLC blade. So DLC on DLC. They have a stone wash with a polished stone wash blade. That is probably this guy right here. They have a stone wash handle with a bell satin finish blade. And last but not least, we have the infamous, I think Lefty, aka Kevin, coined this one, the Blur Pinkle. It's like a blur pole and Pinkle anodized color handle and a belt satin finish on that one as well. So 4 solid options to choose from. You absolutely cannot go wrong with either one of them. The difficult choice is deciding on which one, because they're all looking pretty epic, I'll tell you what. So they are going to be placing production orders regardless of the pre-order volume at the close of the pre-order for anticipated delivery somewhere around fall 2026. So that's not bad at all. This is an up-and-coming brand. This is their first model ever. Wyvern Kodiak. These are very cool dudes. Check out their channel. Definitely subscribe. And if you're looking for a knife that is new, hitting the scene here, hopefully fall 2026 if you get on the pre-order, I mean, this is going to be an epic one that I'm sure is going to absolutely spice your collection for sure. I'm going to be hanging out with this one here for a little bit, maybe like 2 days or so. And I do have to send it right back to Sam because he's going to need it for Blade Show Atlanta here in a few days. So I'm just excited to definitely carry this one, but I'm a little sad it's only going to be for a short period of time, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the Grakkis from Wyvern Kodiak. And while you're at it, of course, the regular size and mini size Lothar Lich Kings, right? These are very affordable budget knives. This is a very premium knife. You can obviously see the difference, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this upload. There are links for all these knives down below, so you guys can check them out. Prices, availability, variants, details. I'm not necessarily affiliated with the Wyvern Kodiak, but it's going to be helping some awesome guys on the EDC community with their first knife design, so I'm really excited. Hopefully you guys, if you really like the design, can get it on the pre-order. Highly recommend it. Let's hang out in the comment section down below. All feedback is welcome. What do you like about them? What do you love about them? Anything you dislike? Anything you want to share with Sam and Chris about their prototype, absolutely feel free to share in the comments below. They're probably going to be hanging out in the comment section down there. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me until the end, guys. As usual, check out this video I recommend to the left, or this video YouTube recommends to the right. Take care, fam, and I'll see you on the next one. Either this one or this one. Peace.